Hi, I'm Namita Ramani, founder of Above Digital and your host for Successful Marketing for Small Businesses in Dubai podcast. Welcome to yet another episode with me, and today I have a very inspiring and a spiritual entrepreneur sitting next to me, and we're going to absolutely love and enjoy these conversations. I'm so sure, because I have done a pre-interview with her and even that was mesmerizing. I'm going to share my experience with you very soon about that. So I'm going to introduce my spiritual entrepreneur, Eda Gungor from Turkey, also known as Seva Bhakti Kaur, who's founder of Life in One Wellbeing Center in Jumeirah, One, Dubai. Life in One is a unique concept, more like an urban retreat, which has a yoga center, fitness center, meditation center, a plant-based cafe, and a secret garden that all of you surely must visit, because it's like a secret haven in the middle of Jumeirah, but it's so unlike Dubai. It's one of those hidden gems in the city, and it's so unlike other places in Dubai. I still remember when I met Eda to talk about the podcast, we were both sitting in a secret garden and talking about her journey, and I could literally feel the presence of the trees and the plants, and I felt like they are listening to a conversation as well. I cannot wait for us to dive into the story of how Life in One came into being, all the struggles and setbacks and successes Eda went through to make the cafe or make the center what it is today. So Eda, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting my invite. I'm so very grateful.
Thank you very much for this amazing intro.
And I'm all fresh ears. I want to hear your whole story all over again.
That's
as if
a
I
long
never
story,
heard it.
Elizabeth.
Yes, keep it long, keep it more longer. Maybe add new things that you didn't add at that time. I want to go back to your journey before Life in One, how your life was and how Life in One happened.
Before Life in One, I think I deleted that part.
Back in Turkey, you were still working in a corporate job. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not very corporate. Generally, after university, I went to chef school in France. And then when I came back, I mostly worked for, to be honest, boss. I always had a boss around. They weren't very big companies. And they were trying to be corporate, let's say. And then somehow they all either had a startup department or they were starting up a new business. So I was always around some startups. And interestingly, most of them weren't successful. So I watched a little bit that they are failing or wrong decisions, or I don't know, I got affected a lot because of this unbalanced environment. And the general lifestyle that I had by that time was very unhealthy, unbalanced, and every single person, I think we go through the same things in life. There's a lot of society pressure, friends, family, everything. There's always a lot of expectations. We feel like we are caught in something, and not all of us finds the courage to break the shell. Yeah. So somehow I'm one of those who broke the shell, and I'm now trying to help people to break the shells, basically. Yeah.
And then what happened after the chef? You left the job, and then?
Which one?
The
first job I worked for was I was hired to make menus, interesting menus, but I ended up doing other things. It didn't fit the company either. The company wasn't ready, and within the employees, they didn't like me much, and fine. At the moment, it's fine. By that time, it wasn't fine because it was my new job, and I thought everyone was gonna love me because it was generally like that in school. Yeah. I was a little bit surprised by work life. Basically, I was like, oh, okay, no one likes each other. Oh, everyone hates each other. No one says good morning, and I have to do this every day, like 9 to 5, every day till we die. I said, oh, yeah. So I think I started to go crazy there a little bit, and then so I left there. There was a lot of problems within the place. And then I don't remember where I went next. I think you remember better my story than me. I didn't work anywhere more than 6 to 8 months, that I can say. Yeah. And then I ended up in an experience gift company, which was new in the market in Turkey.
So you decided to stop cooking, no more?
Yeah, I said I'm not going back to the kitchen. This is madness.
Can I ask, what chef training did you do?
I studied in Institut Paul Bocuse in Lyon in France. Yeah.
And you were
Yeah.
like a particular type
Yeah,
of a chef?
for a year I trained as a classical French chef, cuisine or
French
everything.
cuisine, so
Yeah.
you're cooking all
Yeah.
sorts of meats and poultry,
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah. And then when I came back, of course, my immune system, everything went a little crazy. And I was, I think, 14 kilos more than what I went to France. And then I had a lot of allergies. I wasn't even, by that time I was wearing contact lenses, I wasn't even able to put my contact lenses on. And yeah, it was quite crazy. And then I went to doctor, and then I was just lucky to find a doctor who had an holistic approach, because I was in a hospital basically. And then the doctor said, I think if you just start eating your mom's food for a while, you're gonna be fine. And then it just rang a bell in me. I said, okay, this is cream, butter, cheese every day. Like, we are not used to that. So then I started to eliminate everything in my life. Like I said, okay, for a while I won't eat cheese, and for a while maybe I don't touch gluten. Then I started to feel better and better and better. And then I started Pilates by that time. I was more of a Pilates fan before yoga. And then, you know, they all came together, some healthy minerals, juices, some mixtures I found from Germany by that time. And then all this healthy lifestyle started, yeah.
This is where were you at this time?
This is in Istanbul.
So you're still living in Istanbul,
Yes.
Near your family?
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and you studied from the French school, you came back
And
to
I came
Istanbul?
back, yes.
And then that's where you did the chef
Chef
job?
school was in France, and then
Yeah.
I came back, I started the chef job.
Correct.
And then after the chef job,
You went-
immediately, did I do that immediately? I'm trying to remember.
You started working for
I
this.
have a little bit of a break that I started all this healthy lifestyle. And then during this time, I found this experience gift job.
Yeah. What is that? What was that? So you have to.
So that's a company from Germany. I don't know if they're still there, called My Days. So instead of you buying each other T-shirts and I don't know, outfits
buy
and
each other
everything, you buy
experiences.
each other experiences. Now it's very trendy. By that time, not a lot of people knew about it. And my job was to create these experiences or finding interesting things. And I think it fit my personality a lot. I was like, oh, I was finding all these interesting things, and it was very exciting. But
There's something
yeah.
with the honeymooners you did. I don't know, what was that? Was it you used to make these experiences for the honeymooners?
Honeymooners? No, I think I did. I was doing the making a wish packages. That was my favorite thing.
Or the
I don't know. I'm always a
newlyweds.
very big fan of making wishes, going to interesting places, finding places to make wishes, and I believe that we don't have anyone between the source, but. Because we are humans, I also believe that we like to do something. Like, look, I'm doing something for you. So all these, lighting candles and walking to, I don't know, mountains, I like that ceremonial stuff. So I was making where to go in Turkey and make a wish, where to go in Turkey to make a wish packages. Yeah, I don't know if ever sold though. Like, I worked on the project, but I don't know if it came true.
I'm sure it must have. We'll check it after the interview. Maybe
I
I'll go
can
Google.
still give the information.
Yes. And then what happened from there? Why did you leave that job?
I didn't leave the job. It was tough. No, I did leave the job. I left the job, yes. But what happened is one of the managers were quite hard on me. And I think it was quite personal. So, you take on, and then there was one day that I literally felt like, what am I doing here? Like, who are you? You're talking to me like this, and then that was the end.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you decided.
By that time, I didn't know this much about human psychology, let's say.
Yeah.
And then so I was really good at suppressing everything. So, but then I was becoming a volcano. So one of those days, I had a volcano explosion, and then that was
left
the
the job
end.
and that's
yes.
it. And then from there you went back home and you decided to take a break.
Yes, and then I worked in different places for a couple of months for like a travel agency, which they were also starting new. It didn't work. And then I worked for Time Out magazine. I was writing food and drinks in Istanbul. But they didn't make sense. Like, they were always nice, seemed nice when I was doing them. And then when you go inside the whole system, trying to be corporate, but there's always someone making decisions and everything is quite personal. I didn't like that system much. It didn't make sense to me. And then a lot of things happened. As in, I got unemployed for a year, which is 2012. I think 2012 is a big year for a lot of people in my life. So there are a lot of people always say, oh, me too. There was a turning point in my life. And then during that time, I didn't understand why I'm unemployed. Because a lot of people always in my life were saying that, oh, you have this skill, you're like this, you're like that. But I was like, but no one is calling me. And then, and I didn't, of course, had this classical CV approach of staying somewhere in 2 years. Yeah. So I was like, okay, they're also not gonna call me. And I didn't also know what to apply to. You know, all the jobs that everyone was looking for in my life was, I don't know, big FMCG companies or to sell things, to market things, old school marketing, of course, not like the new digital age. And I was like clicking on things, but I was like, I'm not even sure if I really want them to call me. And I think I manifested it well, no one called me. And then, but I didn't know that I was manifesting that at that time. So I was like, oh, I think I'm quite a failure. No one is calling me. And so I went through that drama, saying that, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? I'm so young. People says I have good skills. Where are my skills? I'm not sure if I'm that person. Yeah. So it was all that drama. And then, yeah, I have some, we can call spiritual memories from that year. One day I remember one of my best friends, Tuche, she was also unemployed for a small period of time. And then we were sitting in her house in the balcony. And then I was literally crying, sitting on the floor and crying because saying that, I don't know what am I doing with my life? Where is this going? Is this like this? And then her aunt walked in. The aunt that I've never seen before and I never saw after. So I really feel like that aunt doesn't exist. Yeah. I don't believe she exists. I still make this joke and I never saw her again. I mean, so she walks in and she looks at me and I'm on the balcony on the floor. She's like, what's happening? I'm like, Mom, it's just a bad day or maybe a bad month. And she goes, I'll read your coffee cup, drink Turkish coffee. And I'm like, okay, that would be great. I really need someone to say something. And then, so she opened my coffee cup and she said things like, you're gonna go to another country, you're gonna start your own business, you have to be just patient with yourself, you're going through something. I was like, wow, okay.
That's spooky, that's scary.
Yeah, and also you don't believe. I'm like, what other country? I mean, I always want to move to other places, but where and how and what am I gonna do? Still, it's a question, what am I gonna do? And then she told me there is a church in Arnavutköy that if you go to that church 3 Saturdays and make the same wish, it comes true. And it was literally what I was looking for because, you know, you just want a recipe from the universe to say, okay, don't worry, I'll take your pain away. And then I went to that church.
You went 3 times. You went to 3 Saturdays.
I went so many Saturdays. To be honest, that church has a place in me. Yeah. I mean, so the first time I went, and I realized, first of all, there was a lot of people for a lot of, let's say, real problems. Mm-hmm. And then you also start facing life that you're just looking for a job, Eda. Like, you know, relax. And there was this priest who was also a psychologist and a sociologist who chose to become a priest because he's a missionary. So I met him. He looked at me. He said, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "I'm looking for a job." And he was like, "What kind of job? Like here?" I'm like, "No. They told me that if I make a wish here, it's gonna come true, and I just want a job." And then he just laughed at me, and then we started chatting. And then and then he was like, "Come next Saturday again." And the next Saturday, he was asking me other questions. He's like, "So let's talk about what you really wanna do. Do you really wanna do this, or what are you good at?" Da, 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 da. And now I can see that he really kind of shaped me.
He asked you
just
the right
by
questions.
talking to me. And then I remember one of my friends, even because I started to go to the church every Saturday, and one of my friends even told me, "You're not gonna date a priest, right?" I'm like, "No, I just appreciate that he really spends time with me and listens." And then so then I started to go there with this happiness, and I was always making a wish of I want to move to another country where I can speak English. So, and then one day when I was making a wish, because I'm also thinking, I was like, when am I gonna move? I don't wanna go to US, London, I don't think it's easy. And I just said, I just wanna move to Dubai and start my own business. And then it happened. I mean, seriously, from there on, there is no practical information. It's all a little bit spiritual. But
there was a story with that you shared with me, and I remember that.
Yeah, we are getting there. I knew that she was.
Yeah.
So then what happened is, I started to talk to him saying, I think I want to move to another country. I think it can be Dubai because, there people are investing in Dubai, the businesses, Then what is the business? I said, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm good in organizing things, and I don't know. And then during this time also, I was investing still in myself. There were people asking me some questions about their life and everything, but I didn't see what's coming. And then I think every person also has a story a little bit related to love. And then also there is a little bit of a heartbroken love story in the middle, very short. And I really respect and appreciate that all that happened, because I think we women, when we are going through something like that, we meet a person, we fell in love, and we say, oh my God, all that pain happened because I was supposed to meet this guy. And no, apparently it's not like that. And the guy leaves because it's too much for him, because he's not there to fix everything, basically. And then you just realize that, oh, okay, now everything that I think I had is taken from me. Yeah. And that was my rock bottom, like on the floor, at home, crying and saying, I am not sure if any reason that can find at the moment why I'm here in this life. Like, what's happening here? What's happening in the world? Why am I here? I had all these crazy questions because I'm like, nothing makes sense. People think that I'm so happy because I'm smiling. I'm dying inside. And then one of these moments, that's the story that I locked myself, basically. I saw a book that years ago someone gave us as a gift, apparently, which says, heal yourself through herbs. And then I remember I opened the page of depression. I said, I think I'm in depression. This should be depression. According to what I read, this is depression. Yeah. And I opened it, and it was saying that eat, the greens, spinaches, I don't know, parsleys, whatever you find, and don't eat this, don't eat that. You have to exercise, you have to meditate, Then I said, okay, I have to change this life. I am 30, and I just want another next 30. Like, I don't want another 30 like this. And then I took from there. I turned my phone off. I didn't see anyone for I think 3-4 weeks, not at all. And then I got rid of all the food at home. I went to the street market, bought all these vegetables, and I just started to wake up at 5. I always loved 5s. 5 and me, we have something going on. Waking up at 5, doing yoga set, heart-opening yoga set from YouTube, whatever I find. Heart-opening meditation, which was completely about crying. Basically, there was no meditation. It's just crying and releasing. Okay. And then planning what I'm going to eat, what is good for what. And then, in between, reading a book. Reading a book of, I don't know, from Eckhart Tolle to, whatever the classical books are that we all basically read. And then a friend of mine told me that there is this Russian lady doing Reiki. Would you like to try? And before that time, I would probably say I had the personality to say, energy is in us. Why am I going someone else to fix anything with me? And I just looked at her and I'm like, okay, this just makes sense. I'll just go to her. And her name is Lana. And then she still lives in Istanbul, and I went there, and her mother was giving the sessions. She was basically like a supporter and a translator, but she also is one of the people who shaped me a lot. She gave me so much information, so much material for me to research and read, from I don't know, essential oils to plants to colors. I was going there for a Reiki session, coming back and buying 10 more books and reading more, changing the plans at home, and then just everything just makes sense. And even if it was a placebo, by that time I was telling people, I just feel better. And then another friend of mine who has a psychiatric clinic by that time, psychologist clinic, something like that, she also contacted me, and she said, she said, people are asking us what's the difference between a therapy session and coaching. Yeah. And it's very difficult to explain on the phone. So she said, why don't we give you a package of coaching and you just write to our blog about your journey? And I said, if you're not going to ask me about my love life at the moment, my heart is completely broken. I said, okay, I'll do this. And then, so the Reiki and her, for eight weeks, I went to Reiki and her, and then the rest of the time I just spent, eating and reading and, doing these meditations and exercise. And then I was literally another person 2 months later. I was literally like way stronger, way aligned, feeling good about myself, feeling good about things. Of course, I mean, we are never gonna have an empty plate, but it brought me to a place that I was able to see what's happening. At least I had an idea of why it's happening. It's a transition, embrace, surrender, just breathe, it's fine. Not everyone's journey, timeline is the same with each other. So I was able to at least open up to possibilities, opportunities, see my limitations, see my shadows, and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So intense.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster actually.
Yeah.
So much. I can imagine all these questions all the time around you. And then after that, what happened? Then you started doing juicing for others.
Yeah, so there, when I was all doing this, I started to juice. At some point, I realized there's some juicing going on somewhere in the world, and there wasn't any company in Turkey by that time. Even the juicing machine I had to bring from somewhere else. I started to juice, and then of course, first your people around you realize this, and then when they realize that something is changing in you, in a good way, they start to adapt also. Yeah. First, my parents started to taste, what's this? The color is not nice. I'm like, just drink. And then my friends started to say, oh, would you juice one bottle to me? So when I'm driving to work, I get one bottle in the morning. I'm like, yeah, why not? Yeah. And then people started to ask, oh, what are you doing in the morning? Oh, you seem so, young. I'm like, yeah, it's not the cream, trust me. I think it's just a meditation. And, when you release that stress from your face, it also becomes a, enlightened kind of face.
Yeah, it's like it has a shine and glow on it. Yeah.
And then so it started like that. And then once I was in London, and then for just visiting someone, and then I remember I saw a corner apartment, ground floor, which was all glass. And I remember the first time I felt like I really wanted to have a place was that place. I looked at inside, and there was this ballet teacher. Not that I know any ballet. It was just so nice that she was doing her own thing between classes, and and I just like that this is her space, and she's not only giving back, but also she's like investing in herself in between. So I like that idea. And then one day I was running around, like literally running, and I realized that I have to do something about self-development, self-enrichment, because I said this is the only thing that I don't give up on. I seem like I give up on things fast, but I don't see it as giving up. I see it as when I take something, I study a lot. I give a lot of time very fast to things. Like maybe people may, buy a book, and the book might stay there. Yeah. If I get the book and if I'm excited, I read the book and I research. So the timeline is a little bit different. And then I come to a place, either it stays in my life, I adapt it fully, or I'm like, okay, I learned it, thank you very much. You opened me another door, so I'll just go through this door. Yeah. But what I realized that day was, okay, if it is around the topic of self-empowerment, self-development, I like this as a general topic. It's just amazing to digging deeper. I like digging deeper. And I know a lot of people also comes to me and says, but I don't want to know my shadows. And I also understand that. Yeah. I'm like, okay, and it's fine. And not everyone will also face their shadows. Yeah. We cannot also change anybody's karma, dharma, anything, We can only show them the way, and whoever is going to choose that, they choose it anyways. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even need to do anything. You just do your thing, and people either come and do it with you or not. So, and then when I come back to Istanbul, I sat with my parents and I said, I have an idea. They're like, what? I'm like, I think I'm just going to open a place. They're like, what? I'm like, I don't know what to call it, and I don't know what we are going to do, but it's just going to be about some movement, some meditation. I'll just put all the books that I read. I'll just do these, gluten-free cakes, and I just told them that I want to be happy. This makes me happy, and if I'm happy, I can make others happy. This is the
gist of the whole thing. Yeah.
And then they said, okay, if you're going to be happy, fine. And then the whole idea was to rent a 2-bedroom close to my parents so that I can stay with them, and then make a 2-bedroom place around where they live. One room like a yoga meditation room, the other room maybe like a Pilates room, because I had a Pilates training by that time. And then I said, yeah, and then I, juice in the mornings, do cake at nights, and just do whatever I do, and I'm sure it would cover itself, and I'll be happy. And then, so what happened from there is, I decided to bring something which where we couldn't find by the time in Istanbul. And I said, okay, there's a lot of yoga going on. There's always Pilates. People who knows these things. Then I said, what can I do? That people can also, they would be interested. And I realized that all women wants to lose weight first. Yeah. I mean, whatever happens, the first thing is, first, let me lose weight.
Answer to everything is losing weight. Probably
okay. And then we lose weight. Okay, you're amazing. And then you get toned also on the way, let's say, perfect. But the problem is there. It's there. The reflection is there. I mean, it's just there. And then to catch them when they are there, I said, okay, I have to create a system where they're going to come to lose weight. Yeah. And then, but I said, what am I gonna do? Like a lose weight packages? Like I'm not a doctor, or there's a lot of amazing places. Why would they come to me? Yeah. Then I said, let me bring an exercise system which tones up people fast. Yeah. And then when they are here, I'll brainwash them. That was my initial intention. That it's not everything,
It's not just losing weight.
It's not the shape of the butt, trust me. And
that was a tough task you took. Yeah. You thought you would do.
Yeah, and then I realized the bar lessons that I got. I attended some bar lessons in London, and they were, I loved it. It was so much fun because it was still a lot of stretching, and there's a lot of movement, but rhythmic music, and I think everyone loves a little bit dancing, and I think we all wanted to be ballerinas, but either the society, families, or our body shapes weren't allowed, didn't allow us to become one. So, and then I just observed people that when they were doing 2 to 3 classes a week, in 5 weeks' time, the body was shaping itself very fast. And then I said, okay, I'll get a training of this and then bring it. And then I got a couple of days training in London because I had Pilates and anatomy training before. So on top of it, it was just a couple of days. And then there was another teacher that I liked. She was in LA. Mm-hmm. Then I emailed her and I said, look, I can't fly to LA for 3 days. I mean, it would be ridiculous. She said, I'm going to Dubai. Why don't we meet there? It's close by.
Okay.
Then I said, oh, okay. That sounds nice. Then I contacted a friend of mine that I met during university, that I made an internship with him. He was already living in Dubai. Yeah. I told him, look, I'm coming to this training. Where should I stay? And he said, look, I'm not going to be in the city, so you can stay at mine. I said, oh, okay, thank you very much. And I came, and I stayed there. On my last day, he came back. Yeah. I saw him, and then on my last day, I bumped into a friend. It was interesting, and she said, oh, why don't you stay with us a little bit? Let's change your plane ticket. I said, okay, why not? And then I extended my plane ticket. I stayed with her a little bit. And then again, I bumped into another friend. And then I told him, I said, look, I have a plan like this. And then I see, I don't know, I bumped into some friends, da-da-da-da-da. And then he just looked at me and said, you know what, it's a great idea. And I always believed in you since that internship. And if you want to start a business in Dubai, I would like to support you. And I was like, are you serious? Like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I have the tendency to say yes. Like, I'm so okay to live in another place. And I said, yeah, go back and think about it. Yeah. And I went back. Interestingly, now when people comes to me and asks, I'm going to start my own business, I tell them the truth, that it is quite hard. Yeah. And geography to geography, it has its own challenges. Yeah. Everyone told me that, oh, you're gonna do this, you can do this, it's gonna be amazing. Now I'm thinking, no, I think only one person told me it's gonna be very hard. And because it was that one person, I didn't listen to that person, basically, So I went back and I'm asking people, oh, opportunities don't stay as opportunities. You should take this one. Oh, don't worry, you have the personality. And another one, you have the courage. You have the strength. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'll start my own business. Like, I didn't think that. I never studied business. I have no idea about how to make a business plan. I have no idea about how to hire, how to fire, how to write a job description, where to start from, like, no idea. And I never even met an entrepreneur around me in my age to even see what's going on, what do they do, you know? So I basically took a leap of faith. And then one day I needed to make a decision. I said, okay, I have to make a decision, Istanbul or Dubai, because I have to start from somewhere. Yeah. And then I said, I'm gonna go for a walk. It was late November, raining, Monday, lunchtime. There's no one in Bosphorus around Yeniköy. I said, okay, I'm just gonna walk. And I said, okay, God, source, whoever is hearing me, I need a sign. I need a sign that I'm not gonna miss the sign. Because I truly couldn't choose which one. Like, am I really, you know, taking a big, like, it's a gamble, you know? So I was walking. I just looked, and there was one guy, hold that in, you know, in 12 kilometers place. There was one guy fishing. He just turned to me, and he was wearing his Dubai written sweatshirt. I was like,
that is the sign.
You're my sign. You're my sign. And he was like, what? I'm like, oh, sorry, but thank you. And then I called my friend and I said, yeah, you know what? We are doing this. I'm coming. What do you want? And then he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I got my sign. And of course, he's very business oriented. He's like, what sign? What fisherman? Eda, I mean, you have to make a decision. I'm like, I just made my decision. This is the way I make decisions. I got a sign. And then so I went home and I told my parents, I'm going to Dubai. And they're like, okay. I'm like, I'll start this business. And then, no, to be honest, my parents always knew that
she's crazy.
So I think they were always ready that, yeah, we're just gonna do unexpected things, and this is how we all grow, basically. They also surrender with us. And then, so yeah, and then I called my friend, and then I booked a ticket, and I came. By that time, when you had a Turkish passport, you could have only spent a month, and you have to leave also a month. So I was coming for a month, for a year, you know, going to all related places and meeting people, Facebook message people, find them and see things and everything. Yeah. And then I was going back and then again starting emailing and messaging and all those things. Yeah. And then, so one day, yeah, we started. I mean, we started as in everything kind of went right from that moment on. I met a lot of amazing people. Everyone seemed like, I mean, they helped also. Some helps wasn't needed, as in, but everyone seemed very helpful. Everyone gave me an idea. Everyone opened the door. It was bam, 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 amazing. And then, yeah, I flew in 11th of October 2014. And 24th of October 2014, we had an opening party. Nothing was ready, as usual, because I didn't know that when people say this is Dubai, it's never gonna be on time, as it's impossible. Because for me, everything was on time before in life. Yeah. Then I moved to Dubai and I learned, and this is different. There is another dynamic going on here. Yeah. The city is dynamic, regulations, rules, licenses, everything. So on 24th, we did an opening party where we had our basically best friends and some family. Who flew in. I had no idea about, we didn't have any PR company, we didn't have any marketing. I basically did some Facebook posts and, you know.
You decided the name by then, Life in One?
Yeah, like Life in One happened on the way, the name. Yeah. It happened one day. A lot of people asked me why Life in One, and I told them the truth. I said, because I wanted to bring the life that we are living this with the whole idea of oneness. And that was as far creative as I went. And no, it wasn't very creative. Yeah. And then it always created some confusion in people that how am I writing this? How am I spelling this? So at the moment, by the way, we are rebranding. And one of the reasons is this one. What happened is, so yeah, we had this party, and then the next day we didn't work, of course, because you know, the construction didn't fully finish.
Even the place you had chosen when you were there, before you came to Dubai?
From the Bizel.
Yeah. You had just chosen a land, a piece of land?
And what happened is, first I wanted to do it in Alcos. I don't know why. I didn't know anything about the city, because, you know, you come to a city and you never lived. And I never also visited. You know, when you visit a city regularly, if you ask me something about, I don't know, London or I don't know, somewhere in Germany or France, I have an idea, right? I lived a little bit, I studied a little bit, I went regularly. I came to Dubai to open a business and I have no idea. So first, opening a place in Alcos made sense to me. I said, we can have a big warehouse. There can be a lot of rooms and doors and this and that. But then we went to Alcos, and first I didn't like the energy. And I said, okay, we're going to create our own, let's say, portal. But still, there's going to be so much clash with outside. That's how I felt. And then, and also, you know, it comes with its own cost and own system, own construction thing. There was so many things needed to be done because I wanted to put all these sessions and yoga and meditation and food thing, all aspects together.
Yeah, you always knew from the beginning you're going to put all of it together.
Always. I wasn't planning a cafe though. I was planning a juice smoothie corner with snacks, like a healthy version of a Costa style something. Universe had a different plan. We had a plant-based cafe. Alas, it works well, so thank you very much. But so then I moved the idea to downtown because everyone was talking about that downtown is the new place. It's getting, you know, bigger and bigger. But then there was this whole car park issue. And whatever building we went, they're like, you can only have a 3-car park. I'm like, 3? I mean, how is it gonna? Where is the main car park? No one had an idea. Then I said, okay, it's just not gonna happen again. And then the next time I came, I said, okay, someone said Jumeirah. And I wasn't sure because I didn't have an idea about what is Jumeirah to people. But then when we were driving through Jumeirah and it was so grounded. So, I mean, it was just different. Yeah. The feeling was completely
quieter, more low, no high-rise buildings.
Yeah, and then I realized like a lot of clinics and doctors and old-timers are around Jumeirah, families, people run in the morning and so I said, I think this is our place. And then we found a place through the Bizal, and there wasn't any photos. It was just a space-wise very big. It was a little bit like unexpectedly big. Then when we came to see the place, it was this whole garden in the back, and then we said, okay, this is it. This is gonna be the place, and we are gonna have a garden because this city needs some greens. And then that's it.
And you constructed everything was like there was your input in the way the building looked like, where things were, everything was decided by...
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't have a budget for interior designer or an architect. This is the truth. Not that I don't believe in architects or interior designers, I truly believe in them. It's just, there was a budget and you have to live around the budget. Sometimes it happens like that. And then budget extended itself 3 times anyways, you know? But,
that's business, it happens.
Yeah, and then there was one day and we said, okay, this is it, like the final cut, no more money spending kind of the date. And then as we said, okay, I said, look, I have an idea of how I want this to look like, how I want this to feel like, and let's trust my intuition. And then that's how it happened. I thank God to Pinterest. Huh? Like, I mean, finding photos and putting things together, making mood boards and checking in internet. How can I do this and that and everything? And then we had a good contractor who understood from our language. And then we had the basis of life in one, basically. And then we started from there. And then on the way, we've seen that having an interior designer and an architect is very important. There was so many things missing, so many things wrong. So every year we did a little bit of a construction. And when we finished the first construction, because it was so hard, I remember I said, I am never having construction in this country again. And every summer I said, I thought you should have never said that. Huh? You should have never said that. Every summer we changed something, we fixed something, we grew something. Yeah, but I think process. It's also having a spiritual place. Yeah, you grow, the place grows, people grows, and then it opens the door. For the door, you grow, place grows, people grows.
It's
so it serves each other.
Constant evolution. Yeah. And then the cafe, from a juice counter, it became a cafe, like a full-blown cafe.
So the real story is, the cafe place in the garden, the tent, there wasn't a tent. Because I never lived in Dubai, I said, how hot can it be? And I said, why don't we do yoga outside in the garden? Yeah. So that tent place was supposed to be an outdoor yoga place. Then people were coming to yoga, and then they were sitting in the garden and staying there forever. And they were getting hungry, and there's no food. And they were starting to ask me, say, is there anything to eat? Can I bring something from outside? And then I started to think like maybe we collaborate something. In the beginning, I tried to collaborate with a friend of mine by that time, but it wasn't the right time. She wasn't ready to open a cafe. We didn't know what we really want, what we can do and serve. And then for a while, it was only a little bit juices and smoothies. And then I was making food for myself because by that time I was living in Knife and One. Because to be honest, the final cut of this whole cost was the wrong time to final cut. It was supposed to be before apparently. So we spent all the money we have ever to open a place, and then I didn't have any money to rent a place. And I was like, okay, and then and I thought I can make the money immediately. Then I learned that in Dubai you have to have the bank account and the checkbook and then this and then that. I said, this is not gonna happen soon, and where am I gonna live? Then we made me on the back of the villa in the back garden another little small studio, so I can live inside till we break even or something. I mean, whatever, you know. But I didn't have a kitchen, so I started to use the kitchen at night for myself. And so I was making a bread. I was so into making gluten-free breads with different flavors by that time, and just making dips and pastes. And of course, I don't have another place, so people started to see me like I'm eating something, and of course, I'm always like, whatever I do or eat, oh, take it. And then people started to say, can I have some? And then I started to have people coming the next day and saying, do you still have that paste and the bread? You know, I'm just gonna grab my son or my daughter from school, and maybe we sit in the garden and, you know, make a picture here. And I was like, okay. And then I just started to price them, basically. Like literally, like I'm old school opening a supermarket style thing. I started to price them. I'm like, okay, I made the bread and cost is this and this. I bought it from here, And then bits by bits on the weekends and and then it literally turned into a cafe itself. Every day adding a little bit of more things from scratch to a professional menu, professional kitchen, and a professional chef. Yeah, it built itself up.
Isn't it amazing?
It is like amazing, to be honest. Yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, your place has its own energy and its own magic.
Yes,
own power.
I always tell people that Life and One is an entity, and it wants to exist. To put it in the realm of time and space reality, but it is staying. It's not above me. I am serving Life in One. I keep working on myself to open new doors to Life in One because it knows where it's going. I don't know. It knows.
You just follow the path, the direction.
Yeah, exactly. Guiding. Yeah, that's why like people ask me, how do I choose? I'm like, look, I basically just follow my intuition. I see the signs of this place, and this is how I do it.
And there's a story behind other things also when it was in construction, when it started. The cafe was there, now everything, you have the yoga classes going on. You'd still not reach the break even when suddenly your partner, could you share with us that story?
Yeah, my partner left.
Suddenly he decided to go.
To be honest, breaking even took so long after him also. I mean, so yeah, I am grateful for him because without him, we wouldn't be here.
So why did he decided to go?
You know, things look different from outside. Everything, business is awesome, ideas awesome. And then he liked the idea of owning a business, I think, after years of corporate life. And he saw something, for sure. He saw the vision of Dubai, of me, of the world, where it's heading. But on the way, there are so many challenges. He gave up one day. And I respect him for that because we have the right to give up in life. Yeah.
We have a right to give up in life.
Yeah, give up in some things in life. We don't have to finish everything that we start.
That's the first time I'm hearing, by the way.
You don't think so?
Well, kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we also start the gym, but we don't like the class. Sometimes you buy a bicycle, but you think you're going to bike every day. That time never comes. And sometimes you start a business and you say, you know what? This wasn't for me. And you learn. You learn to see it coming the next time before investing. And sometimes you see it a little bit late. Sometimes you see it all the time. But if everything is meant to be, he also saw it at the right time. And I needed to go through that to become the person I am. Oh, I was devastated. Oh my God, I wanted to die every day.
Yeah, I can imagine the fear and
Oh,
everything on your shoulder now.
Every fear, I think my subconsciousness inherited since I was born, or maybe before I was born, came out as little demons around me. And I mean, it was extremely difficult because, I moved here with this leap of faith and with this fire in my chest. Yeah. And that fire in your chest makes you a little bit blind. Mm-hmm. So you're like, I'm gonna do this no matter what, but you don't know how you're gonna do it, basically. Yeah. So I came here, and one day I realized that people are leaving home, It's 7, and you don't have a home. Even if you have a place that you're sleeping, it's not home yet. And I realized, I have no friends in this city that I can truly trust. Yeah. That I have no family that I can go and complain or cry and get support. I have no one who can just hug me because my nervous system is basically going crazy. And then it built up so much. I wasn't complaining, but I was crying. I was literally crying half of the day. A lot of my clients knew me by the time that I am the girl who cried every day. Whoever was saying, how are you in the reception? How am I? I mean, look, I'm fine, but I think you just asked the right question at the moment, in the right moment. So it's a little bit like that. So some of my clients become like family because I truly respect that they were there for me to allow me to cry. Yeah. I also didn't hear it from him. I think he also was a little bit going through his own thing to say it, because it's really not also easy to say it face to face. I heard it also from someone else. Yeah. And I think I got paralyzed. I remember that my neck, I couldn't move my head for like weeks.
That's how stressful it was.
Turning like this. Yeah, the neck is whole mobility, right? I learned all about body because my body got stuck in everything in the first 2 years. Then I started to learn all these, what is this whole thought forms, how do they manifest in the body and what they say. I studied all of them, basically. And then when I learned that neck is the mobility, I was like, well, of course, it makes sense. I can't move at the moment because I'm not holding the wheel. I don't know at the moment where this car is going, and I'm not able to stop it. We are in it. Yeah. Like, this train is going somewhere. Yeah. Like, the only thing I can do is jumping, but you're already jumping. Like, the other partner is already jumping. You can't jump. Someone has to go with the train. Yeah. I remember there was this lady who sometimes comes once a year from Singapore to do some sessions in Life in One, some kind of interesting style of readings and some energy work. I was in a room with her. Everyone has classical questions to these people. Generally, women ask like marriage and kids and career and money. I sit there and I said, you have to say something to me. And she was like, what? I said, look, he's leaving. I have no idea how I'm going to make this alone. But she asked me the right questions. She said, did you do anything with him? And I was like, what? She said, I never saw his face here. Then I realized that from the beginning, we didn't set the partnership right.
The rules.
Who expects what from which, who, all those 5W questions. Yeah. And then
it was all you.
Yeah,
always
so
you.
I expected someone to be literally partner with me and work with me. Work as it doesn't have to be full time, but I never worked in a corporate company. I never created a system. And yes, I learned that we all have the capacity and ability to learn everything and create it, but it doesn't have to be from the hard way always. If there is someone who already knows how to write a job description, I thought he would do that part. But then I learned on the way that he wants to be a silent investor, but I don't need a silent investor. I really need help. Yeah. Another hand with me. Yeah. So I think it was the perfect decision for both of us. Yeah. Because when I look at it now, we wouldn't also be here with him. Because, he has a different lifestyle. He is interested in different things. He saw it as business. But on the way, I learned that if you have a spiritual place, you have to believe in it. Yeah. If you don't believe in it, if you are not open to face your own shadows or face other people's shadows and see the place as a little bit of a lighthouse, not everyone is there to stay. Sometimes people just walk through it. Sometimes people come just to sit in the garden to get that healing. Sometimes people come to give something. Sometimes people come just to take something. It has its own system. little creation, going on there. So so it is the perfect story, but it was very painful. Yeah.
And then I remember one of the other aspects that the first, when he left, you didn't have the rent check.
Yeah, I didn't have the rent check. I still didn't have a place even to live in. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the rent check a couple of times in the past. In the first 3.5 years, maybe even 4, maybe 3.5 years. And then, and then someone gave me the rent check. A client of Life in One who was coming regularly, and I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Then I believed in miracles, because it was a miracle. It was literally a miracle that someone comes and says, this place has to stay, and I'm giving you this money. And if you pay me back, fine. If you don't, fine. We don't have to have anything signed, and he leaves. And that was like
God sent messenger.
Yeah, it was God sending. So I literally on my knees cried that night because of gratitude. And I always pray for him. And he's an amazing person, and he supports places like me all around the world. Then I learned. I didn't know by that time. So yeah.
It's magic, and magic does exist. It does happen.
Yeah, Yogi Bhajan says, I don't believe in miracles. I rely on them. I'm that person. That happened. I'm like, I rely on miracles. We wait for a miracle, okay? We work for a miracle. Yeah.
Wow, what an amazing, inspiring, very inspiring. Inspiring story, goosebumpy story, what all you went through to build this. There's a couple of other things you shared, is that even the business books, right from writing a business plan to coming up with protocols, you would read books and make notes of it.
Yeah, because look, I didn't have a business plan. I checked online how to write a business plan. I couldn't write it. And I even thought for a little while, I said, am I stupid? I'm not able to do this. Should I go to a course for this? Is there a person who can write this for me? You're basically trying to create an industry, putting all of this together. You have to know your target client. I'm like, what target client? I never lived in this city. I just know that my target client is humans, fellow humans. This is the same system. There are some archetypes, but we are the same, same blood, same bones, same structure, and a lot of different cultures. And I'm like, for me, it's for everyone. They're like, no, it can't be for everyone. Then I started to read. I said, when he left, when I was devastated, and when I realized I can't leave. I can't leave because I couldn't find, I don't know what to call it. It's not strength, but I couldn't find the right feeling in me to hold and go back home. Yeah. I couldn't close it. Something that I can't explain told me that you have to stay and do it. And I found that determination in me, that unexplained determination. And I didn't know that I was determined, by the way. This place taught me that I am quite a determined person. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. Thank you for showing me this finally. Then the same person who basically gave me the rent check, he was bringing me luggage full of entrepreneur books, because he was reading all these and he loved it. And then I just started to read them. And then in that little studio, smaller than this, I was taking a board mark and writing on the walls the things that I should learn. And I was living in that. And I created that like a kind of a study place that I sleep in. And I said, you have to learn this, Eda. You have to learn. So I'm brushing my teeth, doing my hair, anything. I was constantly reading and repeating things and doing a meditation for it. This is it. And then, and it worked.
This is called hard work that goes into
that's blood, sweat, and tears, by the way.
Actually in action. I think all small businesses go through this. This is like proper described,
Yeah. And so when people come to me, I tell them, I'm like, look, it's hard, but it's doable. But maybe knowing hard can help you more, because I was shocked, because I didn't think it was going to be hard. I thought, I can do anything. No, it's not like that. There's going to be moments you have to learn to ask for help. You have to learn to surrender to the situation. You have to learn that job is not going to finish that day, and nothing finishes on the day. You always think like, everything is finishing, your to-do list finish, and you start a new day the next day. No. Nothing finishes. It builds up, and then you learn. And then there are some seasons you finish, and then you start again. It's like astrology. You can't always make a step forward. Sometimes you look back, you clean up, and then make a step forward. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about people? The people that you hired at Life and Come. I come there, like I mentioned, for journaling and the thinking hours are usually in Life and One when I sit and journal. And even your staff, the people who are serving there, they seem different. They're not like the other.
We all do Kundalini yoga.
All of them.
So all the stuff, it's mandatory. I tell them when I'm hiring them, they have to accept that minimum one class of Kundalini yoga meditation they will do weekly. It is in their job offer. And if they don't do, if they do more than one, there is an extra bonus. And if they do, like there are like classes, like if you do 4, there is this much bonus. If you do 8 more, like
so you
in
pay
a month.
them money to do more classes.
Yeah, like bonus. I set it as I don't like saying I'm paying them, but we all need some drive. And bonus, why wouldn't anyone work with bonus? All salespeople works for bonus in the world. So this is the way that we give bonus. You do more yoga, more meditation, and you
That's
get
why
more
they
bonus.
feel very connected and very just like you.
Yeah, I mean, we do mantra chanting a lot, and I try to explain everything to them. Because in the end, cafe and the center, I don't see them as 2 different entities. They are one, and they serve each other. It's like mind, body, spirit. They serve each other. You cannot only focus on your mind or only focus on your body. There's always going to be an aspect missing. So for me, Life and One is also like that. So our friends who are serving in the cafe, to our chef, to our housekeeping, everyone, we try to pass the information. It might be sometimes making sense to them, it might not. But because we play the mantras all around the place and sometimes chant mantras with them, some of the main mantras, they know it. Sometimes I find them when they are serving, I'm like, perfect, it's working because the whole idea of the mantra is also to be able to take it in your subconsciousness and let it work with the rhythm itself, break your blockages. So if they are already chanting organically, it's working.
Yeah.
So I think that also you see that light and color around them also.
Yeah, and that affects the food also, by the way, because when you I pray Gayatri mantras when I cook, and I can feel the difference in my food and the feeling in the food, and something happens.
Our chef regularly does Kundalini yoga, and she was already a very spiritual person when I met. She was already plant-based. She's a plant-based chef. And also, for example, Kundalini Yoga has 1 day full meditation, which we call White Tantra. Around the world, in different places, they do it. And it consists of 31 to 62-minute meditations, and it creates a subtle change within the subconscious mind. And this summer, for example, there is a European Yoga Festival in France. For example, this summer, our chef was voluntary there. So she was cooking and attending this meditation. So as much as also she works on herself, it affects the food, it affects the team in the kitchen. We connect on a different level. So, yeah.
So it seems like, unlike other places or other restaurants which have a high turnaround for the employees, it doesn't apply to your...
It does, because like I said, not everyone comes for a long period of time to a lighthouse. Yeah. But we are constantly working on upgrading the system that we work in. So whoever sits there is a manual, and we start from somewhere. So we can also accommodate more people. Yeah. Because I also don't believe in this, you have to stay in 2 years somewhere thing. World is not like that, it's Aquarian age. New generations, Generation Z, millennials, they're completely different people. And they serve faster. Yes, of course, they also have their own thing going on. They maybe need to learn patience, but we also need to learn them. This world is, we need to look to them to plan our future. And this is what we are trying to do in Life and One. Yes, there might be turnover, but how can we make it still a good service? Yeah. How can we maybe automate more things? How can we, in a short period of time, teach people things? And also, attending these classes also teaches this, for example, to reception, to customer service. So they start also from the first week attending a yoga class, so they answer from their own experience. They say, oh yeah, I attended that class to the client. I felt like this and this happened. So it creates also a different level of connection with people.
Yeah. All these systems you came up with, as you learned, you came up with these manuals and systems, and by failing,
and we constantly upgrade them also, because we learn, the system changes.
That's the process. That's how you learn. You have to keep trying different things and fail at it, and then say, okay, now I need to fix that, and that's how it happens. Oh wow! I'm just amazed by the way our conversation is going. And
thank you.
Okay, now let me move further to, and now we've kind of covered most of the story of how you started the place, how you hire the people. How do you find these amazing teachers that teach at the...
I get this question every day.
I know you mentioned that.
These people crossed through my path, basically. This is the only practical answer I can give. So 95% of the teachers overseas, especially, they work with, either I met them somewhere else, or they came with a recommendation. Recommendation is not like another center, but someone who healed through them, who got a lot of benefits with their families or personally. And I tried them. Me and sometimes also another therapist in the center. And I can only say a client of mine calls me a headhunter for spiritual businesses. So I'm like, maybe that's my skill set. I don't know. Do we have to package it? I'm not sure with a name. But I think I am good at choosing the right therapist. Yeah.
You seem to attract them to your way.
Yes, and they get me. Of course, it's never 100%. Because as a center, we also have some criteria. One of the criteria is we don't rent the space out. Either we're going to work together and create a true collaboration that everyone will know each other, will work together, we'll do swap sessions maybe, and also I try to choose humble people, so no one sees that my method is better than yours, or my thing is more expensive, which means I don't like that. Spiritual competition, spiritual ego is, I think, one of the most dangerous things in the world at the moment is happening. And so sometimes I also meet people and they are like big names, or they are super well trained, or they come with an amazing reference, but they come in and they don't connect with anyone. But for me, creating that global team is very important, because they are also growing together. I see that. Someone flies in, before they fly in, they say, Eda, I want to do a blah, blah session. I'm like, okay, I'll arrange that. And then the other one says, oh, I'm going through blah, blah, blah. Maybe this one comes. And I see also their growth. And then I find them together sometimes creating a project saying, you know what, we are going to do blah, blah for addiction therapy. Are you in? Or, for example, we are starting our retreats next year. And we are going to be doing retreats, 2 therapists, 1 yoga teacher together. So when they know each other, they are also able to create these collaborative, more powerful programs. And then those programs, of course, becomes not like only a holiday, but you literally release something, take your jacket off from your shoulders and come back kind of thing. So this is important for me, that people get along with each other, respect each other's experiences, methods, grow together, Yeah,
these retreats I'll be looking forward to. I would love to join the retreats. That reminds me, you travel a lot to all these retreats and stuff.
Yes.
How do you find these retreats?
It's
and what
also
is one of your
another
favorite
thing.
points?
I think I just learned to listen to my intuition. Wow. Like, and this is all I tell to people. We all have that sacredness in us. And through your practice, whatever is your practice, you tap into your sacredness, and then you just need to practice trusting that. There's a lot of different yoga and meditation methods, but I believe everyone choose one to go deeper in it. Trying a lot of different things is amazing. I also keep trying always, but also keeping one to establish something in you. See it as a construction. Start from basis and build up on it. For me, at the moment, it's Kundalini Yoga. But I cannot promise you that 10, 15 years later, I'm going to be doing Kundalini yoga. Maybe even Yogi Bhajan himself says, if we find something working faster than Kundalini yoga, we'll be doing that. And I'm the same. And I've done a lot of other things like transcendental meditation to Sufism and everything. And they're all brilliant and amazing. And nothing is better than sitting like a literally monk style in silence and meditating. But I also love all these chants and the mudras and some movements. And that, as much as I do Kundalini yoga, I realize that it's, at the moment, I see that it's working faster than other methods. It's completely my opinion and my observation. I am not saying anything to anything, you know.
What is faster? How do you mean? Like, why are we?
I see that when people start regularly coming to yoga meditation classes to Life in One, if they choose Kundalini yoga, I see that they find their balance and strength and center faster. In like 2-3 weeks time, they're like, oh, wow, I feel so good, like something happened. I'm like, okay, keep it. Because this should be the normal. This feeling good should be your normal, so just build on it. It is the Kundalini yoga designed as it's like one class is one therapy session sometimes. Then the mind comes to confuse us. It's like, you know, most women, they give examples of, oh, I went to buy a red dress, but I also bought this yellow dress. And I always ask them, which one was the first one that you see or chose? Oh, the first one was green. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, the first one is the one you should go for, by the way. I mean, I'm like, oh, this looks nice. There is something that I like. Let me try. But if I'm feeling something in my gut, I would never push and go. Why? There's so many different places, then we would find another place.
Do you have a favorite retreat that the most you enjoyed the most, something that you would love to go back to or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of places I would like to go back. But this summer we went to, it's not a retreat, by the way. It's an old monastery turned into an urban retreat, they call it, for solo travelers, normally. It's on top of the mountain, 1 hour drive from Rome. In Italy, and it's called Eremita. And I don't know, it was amazing for me. There was nothing to do much. The phone doesn't have reception. And they have their own organic garden, and at 7 in the morning, they do their own prayers, and there's yoga class going on, and the rest of the time is just for you to basically be in the nature and ground yourself. And yeah, just being there for a day or 2 or 3, you just get rid of all the city, whatever the city brings. Yeah.
Wow, I want to do that one.
Yeah, you should check it out. Yeah. We will be doing retreats next year there.
Yes, I would love to hear more about them soon. Are there any current challenges you're facing in running the center?
Yeah, every day. I mean,
that's any business.
Current challenges.
Yeah.
At the moment, for the first time, I feel the market is down. Yeah. Last year, we didn't feel it. This year, I'm like, yeah, but nothing to do. It's life. Yeah. Markets are up and down. So we're just taking it day by day because we plan our things a season before. So it's happening. Also, everyone who comes knows. Like I said, because everyone is like a global team, we announce this and everyone is fine to come and see their previous clients or just be here with us or serve each other maybe sometimes. And then what else? We are trying to automate a lot of things at the moment. Currencies, online payment systems. So we are working on that because the booking system that we use is US based, but it's one of the most widely used booking systems of the world. But in UAE, they are not allowed to charge online. Yeah. So it affects us as we have so many different services. Even when we make, I don't know, it's technical terms though, it's a different page to charge people online, we should be always allocating everything manually. So we are trying to write a software in between these systems at the moment.
That can communicate to each other.
Yes, and so we are working on this. It's gonna probably be available from January or February onwards. So this is what we're working on at the moment. Of course, it comes with its own things. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The business always has challenges.
Yeah, and there's always a lot of area to grow. So.
Absolutely. I'm sure you apply a lot of your spirituality and your intuition in business decision as well, like you rightly said.
Yeah, I mean, Yogi Bhajan has a book called Conscious Business.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a very small book.
Yeah.
And I read that book sometimes, like regularly, just to remind myself what we are doing, why we are here. We are here just to be conscious humans, whatever we do. It doesn't matter, I believe, what business you do. Are you literally living consciously? Are you really serving others?
Living?
It's just being in the moment and serving for everyone. You don't have to be in service, but I don't believe in stepping on other people. So whatever we do, we are trying to do always better, but also at the same time, we are trying to do it in a way that we don't harm the environment, we don't harm people, we don't harm the nature, and things related to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes get carried away and lost when you're talking. I don't want you to stop talking. I'm going to keep talking.
Okay.
So, you say you hear signs, you see signs of universe.
Yeah.
Any recent signs you've noticed?
Yeah, I get a sign every day, I think.
Yeah. By the way, 555 is number for change, right? When you see fives,
is it?
It means change is about to happen. That's what it says. I see numbers all the time.
5 is negative mind, but
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Any recent sign that you remember?
Recent sign?
There's something you say, oh yes, that is a sign. Any story, if you would like to share?
Do I have a story nowadays? No, not like a Dubai little sweatshirt kind
that
of sign.
That was a very miraculous.
Maybe I don't remember. If I remember, I'll tell you one. Okay. But at the moment, I couldn't remember any.
Has it ever happened that you cannot, you have these two voices talking to you from inside? Should I listen to this one or that one?
Father, mother style or good or bad style?
Good or bad style. Father, mother style is depending who's talking good and who's saying bad, but similar. And you cannot make a decision. How do you decide then? What do we use to make decisions when we are confused on what to choose?
To be honest, that happens rarely to me. But when it happens, I think I get affected more because that happens rarely to me. Like I'm not used to being indecisive. I first check, is it like a decision of, do I really have to make a decision? Is it like, are we buying something and is it colors? Like, is it important? And then if it is an important thing, I try to see who is talking, who. Because, there is an inner man and an inner woman. Correct. And inner man represents your father and inner woman represents your mother. So I always go back there and I say, okay, how can I simplify this? I have very different personality parents. Yeah. So when I was growing up, whatever happened, they said opposite things. So when you grow up, but this happens in a lot of families.
Yeah.
But if people are aware or not, I don't know. I am aware of it, and I see it in my life. Sometimes something happens, and it's like I feel both. Then I make a conscious decision. Okay. Then I make a conscious decision of which makes sense. How do you do that? For example, one of them might be coming from fear, and the other one might be coming from strength. I choose the strength. So I said, Eda, in here, you're following this. One of them might be coming from impatience. The other one might be coming from wisdom. Then I'm like, Eda, here you're choosing this. So it's a training for your own self, and it's a practice. It's an internal practice. And I don't think because they're in you, that you're part of them. It's not going to change. You're born to that and you watched that video. You recorded it. It's in you. So I make conscious decisions. Yeah.
The more you're aware of yourself, then I guess it's much easier to make these conscious decisions.
Yeah, I see these as a game. Because if you also feel like, oh my God, I need constant therapy, then you would also go crazy. I see it as a game. I have an obstacle. I created a challenge to my life. Okay, let me see. How am I going to solve this? What do I need? How do I see? So I see it as a game. When you see it as a game, it's easier to walk through life because I don't think life is easy. It's not getting easier. We have to get stronger. And I think awareness is making us stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're aware, it's actually an interesting twist. Life is not easy, but if you're aware, it becomes easy because
Yes.
then you are aware of what to do
Yeah.
and how to take decisions,
Yeah.
and then it's no more tough.
Yeah.
Has it ever been that you've you listened to your gut and in your intuition, you made a decision and then you regretted it? I guess not.
No, because I don't see things as regret. I see things as growth. I'm not even sure if I ever used the word regret in the last couple of years. Not at all. I see everything as a potential. And in each potential, there is infinite potentials in it. And if something is not going in the way that I planned, who am I to plan anyways? So because it was a step, I made it. I made it, which means I was ready for the step. So if it's hurting, then it's an area to grow. Why is it hurting? Let's reflect. Let's learn. There is something here which is not serving me anymore, which means it's hurting, and I am growing, and I don't want to grow with pain, so I'll solve this.
That's how actually it should be. Because all these situations and challenges and pains are to make you realize that you need to learn something.
Exactly.
If we stop seeing them as challenges
Yeah.
and situations and see, how can I grow? Where can I learn? What is here for me to learn? Okay, it's painful. Okay, even if you have to cry, but then what is my lesson?
Crying is a resistance to release also to a lot
Yeah.
of methods, methodologies when you look at it. So your crying means you gave up.
Yeah.
Alas, cry.
Yeah.
Take it out. Yeah.
And since I've got this awareness, by the way, any new challenge that comes up in front of me, and okay, now maybe I need to get someone better for this job, or whether it's at work, or maybe someone new, better person is going to come and sit on this place, or whatever. And even in personal life, I think the same principle applies, and suddenly the situation or the challenge just melts. You can see it disappear.
Yeah.
And something like a flower or something else emerging from it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Nothing stays as is. So if it's hurting, it's never gonna be the same amount of pain the next day, first of all. You'll sleep on it once, and if it's gonna change already. So, yeah.
How can entrepreneurs and small business owners have more spirituality in the way they do business? How can they add more spirituality and intuition to their way they work?
I think if anyone is an entrepreneur, if they don't want to lose their mind, they have to have a daily practice.
I think it all comes back to practice.
Yes, I believe everyone must have a daily practice, and if you're an entrepreneur, you have to have it. Like, you must have it. Because being an entrepreneur is what? Let's make it very simple. They're corporate companies. Why they are corporate companies? They started from an entrepreneur, grow, generations and generations, it became corporate, right? So maybe we don't start saying, I'm gonna be a corporate company, but this is where everyone starts. Every single little thing is gonna be covered. Every little single thing related to business will come on your way. And it's a long way journey. So first of all, you have to accept the fact. And second of all, you need to understand that there is gonna be days that you really don't wanna deal with it. There is gonna be days that you really don't like that topic, but it's yours and it's your place. You have to do it. So if you get support, if you create an environment that you're connected to yourself, you'll know the answers faster. You'll know that you have a place that you can go back and relax. You know that there is a place for you to reflect, and all of these. And then, because when I look at entrepreneurs, they are spiritual or not, but it's similar. But are you going crazy or not? Are you burning out your nervous system or not? It's in your hands. So that's why some 30s look 30, some 30s look 20, some 30s look 45. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So I think it all comes down to everybody having a spiritual practice, maybe joining a meditation or having a weekly meditation class.
Reflecting, even journaling maybe daily. I mean, they can do Qigong, Tai Chi. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. But like I said, I think keeping one thing regularly for an amount of time and bringing the body and the mind and the soul to a place that they can go a little bit deeper, and they can find a little bit of more space by doing the same thing. It's like yin yoga. they leave you in the pose, right? You keep breathing, and every time you breathe, every other 30 seconds, the body opens more. The body opens more. It's the same thing. If you keep doing the same thing every day, the same meditation every morning, you're gonna be going to different altered states in a month and a year and 2 years, of course.
Yeah, true that. I read one of the articles where you mentioned 21st century is asking us to go deeper. Probably this is what it is, that we need to go within rather than look outwards.
Yeah, because okay, we're all talking about everything is your reflection. You are the source, God within. I wonder, do really people sit and think what do really means? Like when you really sit and think that if I am the source, if I am a part of the source, in all religions and everything there is this, you are a part of it or you are it, right? So why wouldn't I look in? Why would I go out and look? We are saying it every day. So if you're not looking in, which means you need to also realize that why are you blind to this? Or why are you blocking this? Or what are you scared of? It's everywhere, everything is here.
Everybody's scared to go inside because they don't want to face their own demons. They don't want to face their own fear. I think going inside is looking at the fear so close.
Yeah, but people need to understand that, healing happens in 1 second. Sometimes you look and it's not even there anymore. Maybe it's just waiting for you to just look. Like, it's not like a real demon is coming out. It's really some work, and you're going to feel just lighter and lighter. You're just going to feel better. I don't know why people don't want to feel better. Why don't you guys want to feel better?
I'm going to go, how did you meet your husband?
Okay, I didn't know.
Little personal.
I didn't even know that that I'm married. Okay, I met my husband on a dating application.
Oh, how sweet. Okay, so those, all the single women, that's where we need to check out. Then
you just need to be clever on the application. Yeah, you don't have to spend whole your months and nights and meeting different people. But basically what happened is, because, in the first years, you're a workaholic. And people say workaholic to you, but I knew that I am not a workaholic, but I am establishing something from scratch, and it's a little broken because I'm alone, Yeah, I know. And then, to be honest, the reason I moved out wasn't like that I was looking for a place. I opened my door, and there was 1 million ants in my room.
Wow.
Like a Stephen King novel, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, like 1 million. And then I said, I think it's my sign. I'm going. And then, so I found a place very close to Life in One. And then, because I didn't want to drive and do that hustle, I said being close to works the best. So one day, I had internet, nothing else, and that time also Life and One was closed. And we again had a small construction during summer, of course, because we like constructions. And then I'm sitting at home with my cat, and I have nothing to do, and I didn't have furniture at home. Like, it's like my second day or something. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna open this dating application. It's July. Maybe I meet someone. Maybe there's another crazy person that's spending their July in Dubai. And then I filled the profile, but I wrote honestly. I wrote there that I'm really not interested in photos of a group of drunk people. I'm really not interested in your car. I'm really not interested in your title or anything. I wear flip-flops. I don't wear high heels. I don't do makeup. And I like to laugh, and I don't know, go for a random walk. I don't drink much. So this is it, this is it. And then, so not much people were interested. And then, or people who were interested was because apparently the application was taking photos from Facebook. And one of my years ago profile photo was apparently my childhood photo. And then people were sending me messages like, oh, your kid is so nice. And I'm like, it's not my kid, it's me, but it's okay. So that day, when I was checking, I checked, and the application called Happen. So you have to cross paths with people also to see. And I also realized there's not much single people in Jumeirah 1. Huh? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, quite boring. And then I saw one person. He wasn't drunk with other people. There's this whole case study can be done of profile photos in these applications. he just looked normal, basically. Then I read his profile, and he was already plant-based. I think I brew my kombucha at home. I do yoga. I was like, no, really? Oh, really? And I even thought for 1 second, it's too good to be true. I think someone is lying. Like, my first feeling was, I think it's a little bit exaggerated. I don't believe this. Then I said, okay, but there is no other option also. I said, okay, I'm just gonna maybe talk to this guy. So I liked him. Apparently he also liked me, and we started talking. And then the minute we started talking I literally, my body and my whole personality, everything related to me started to shiver. And then we kept talking. We kept talking for days. Like that. There was so much to talk, apparently, about any and every topic. Checking my phone, I was like, wow, it's been so long. I didn't check my phone if someone messaged me, And then, and then when we went to a Chinese restaurant for a brunch as two vegans, and then we kept talking forever. We are married, yeah. Now, yeah.
Congratulations. In today's, I notice it's becoming more and more challenging for the right people to meet. Actually, because of the apps, it's become more and more easy.
Yeah.
But it's still challenging to sometimes meet the right one. It takes longer, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
but
your time is not right, or yeah.
But you know what I observed, because we do some relationship coaching, therapies, or some meditations also, or some workshops in Life in One, and then I attend them. Sometimes to observe, sometimes I just like to attend and learn more. Everyone is looking for a recipe. Yeah. Everyone has a list that I want this and this and this and this, and if you don't have this, I don't want it. And then when I look at the people who are in a relationship, no, we didn't meet each other. I didn't match his, I'm sure, whole list, and he didn't match my whole list. But we just made a commitment. We just said, you know what? We are going to give it a try. Yeah. And we just said, we will support each other. So if you are connected on some realm that you can find strength and you can find honesty, I don't think there is nothing cannot be solved. Sometimes people say, oh, you guys have a great relationship. I'm like, no, it's not great. Trust me, I cannot call it great. But we know that relationship, whoever with will come with something. And it's not about changing partners and looking for a better one. It's about making this a better one.
I'm loving the conversation, by the way. It's absolutely amazing. We have so much
this
wisdom.
Coffee worked, huh? My heart is boom. Yeah, seriously.
Pre-made good one.
So this is what I see in relationships. You just need to make a decision and be determined in that also. Because there is no end to go out and look for people. And I also see that people comes from extreme negativity. Everyone says, oh, it's Dubai. Yeah, what is this? Yeah. How can you blame a city? And how can you believe that there is no one person for you if you really want a relationship in the city? How can you be sure that millions of people are not interested in any kind of relationship? I think this is also very... It's about, I think, some low self-esteem, maybe in deep core place, or maybe some memories of hurt and everything. But these all can be worked on and healed and can be looked in a positive way. I don't believe it. If you're in a relationship, I'm sure there's a relationship for you. But if you want to stay in a relationship, that's the work.
You know, a lot of times people in relationships, people move away from the frequency of the other.
Yeah.
What does it take to keep it together? Like someone else, like one of the partners is more evolved than the other one, and then that creates gap.
Yeah, but this is also about relationship, about the people. But I believe having some common ground is needed. For example, at the moment, I can't believe if I was married to a person who eats meat every day, I don't think I would have been able to keep up with the relationship. Like, I think eating the same food, liking a couple of same things, at least understanding the importance of having a daily practice. Yeah. You don't have to do the way in practice. But when I met Shadi, he was already waking up at 5 and doing something. So he never looked at me like I'm an alien. We did different things in different rooms. And at the moment, we do mostly the same thing. But sometimes even we do Kundalini yoga. But sometimes I'm on a 40-day journey of something that he's on a different yoga journey for 40 days. But at least we understand. So no one is pushing the other one saying, after 10, oh, you didn't see me today. We both know that we're going to get tired and go to sleep. And if the other one wants to sleep, if the other one is tired, it's fine. We find our own balance, you know? So I think these things are important. There should be some ground that you meet. And then from there on, you establish your own building.
Do you communicate all these things or just happen? You just kind of accept it?
To be honest, communication also something it evolves. And when I was thinking in the beginning when I met him, I was communicating. Now I'm thinking I'm communicating better. Now I communicate everything. And because also I think my throat chakra is so open this year, maybe that's why. So I don't think there's anything that I can't tell him, even if he likes it or not, if he agrees or not. And he also knows that, but I also know that he would never take it personal. Like we kind of learn to balance each other, not to push the points.
Relationship is, growing together and understanding each other. It's hard work. Just as life is hard work, I think relationships with people, not even just your partner, with your sister, with your siblings, with your friends, everything now with humans has become hard work. And the work has to start with yourself first.
Exactly.
That's why, again, back to the practice. You have to come back to the practice. We have this one fly who accompanies us. For some reason, it doesn't want to go away from the house. So I'm taking it as a sign of love, and it stays with us.
No problem.
So for all the audience as well, enjoy the fly. Let the fly, one of our guests, I guess, then. You know, in one of the, something when I was researching about you, came across that one book, if somebody should read in their life, you would recommend is Celestine Prophecy. Why that book?
Celestine Prophecy.
Yeah.
I can add to that Biology of Belief.
I love that.
And Napoleon Hill, if you are going to start a business. Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, I like a little bit more. And why Celestine Prophecy? Because, I mean, it's 2019, and people ask me, what do you guys follow? I'm like, we follow the energies. So if you really don't understand at the moment that we are vibrating beings, you really need to start studying it a little. So Celestine Prophecy is a great and a basic fiction story way to give that there is more to life.
Yeah, I've read, there are 3 editions of this, right? 2 or 3?
9.
Okay, then maybe I've just...
Oh, sorry, there is 4 editions, of course. The 9 prophecies are in the first book. There is 10, 11, 12.
Correct.
Yeah.
3 or 4 books. I've read all of those, and you're right. I mean, we are vibrational beings. We understand each other's frequency.
Yeah.
Even when we do business with each other, it's all vibration.
Yeah.
When we like someone or not, everything is feeling.
Yes, exactly.
And we don't understand our own cosmic powers. I heard you also share in one of like your favorite juicing I think one of your favorite Instagram accounts is Moon Juice.
Moon Juice, yes.
And
I love her, Amanda. Yeah. She also has a good story, and she's also very connected. She's also a Kundalini yogi, and
You said even she has cosmic powers.
Yes.
These cosmic powers that you talk about.
We all have some cosmic powers, no? Don't you think?
How do we recognize? I believe it. I truly believe it. And how do people recognize their cosmic powers? Is there the simplest way you can test that you are powerful? And test your skill, like test your own powers.
I think testing your own power can come from 2 places. One can come from your ego, and one can come from your truth. So if it's coming from your truth, which means you have cleaned up some cup, you emptied your cup a little bit, then as much as emptying you do, you start feeling the power.
How do I know it's coming from ego or from truth?
Because when it comes from ego, there is competition, there is jealousy, there is all the other things. There is something that you're trying to prove it to. When it comes within, it's just there, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just use it. And when it's needed also.
Yeah, true that.
And that is, I think our cosmic power, because if I'm the source, if the universe is within me, then all that cosmos is in me, and okay, let's keep it working and vibrating together.
Yeah, I recently read a book called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. And have you read the book?
No, but I heard the book.
You have to read the book. It's amazing. It's about surrendering to the cosmos, to the universe, and seeing the signs. And he left everything. It's an amazing story of how from surrendering everything he was sitting just after 3-4 years, I don't know how many years, in a meeting selling his company for $200 million. And being a CEO of that company, his whole journey through Surrender Experiment, nothing did he try to achieve. Everything came to him by just surrendering to God and to universe and to nature. And after reading the book, I started testing the Surrender Experiment. I started, I own a digital agency, and in our agency, very seldom does a client leave us and go. Usually they stay with us for years and years to come, as long as we are doing the work right. And one of the client probably would go, now you know what, if this is the time to go, maybe for him, someone else better is going to come in. So you kind of surrender, you let go, and you, even in things in life, if something is not happening, we have our previous videographer, for example, was giving us little troubles. So I said, surrendered, God will send me a new videographer, and then we found Luis. So it's just, magic just happens if you stop if you stop trying too hard and just let go, and the magic will just, things that are supposed to come to your life,
because I believe when you're trying too hard, you're energetically holding on to something there also. Sometimes we even hold on to our own anger, and then one day you just realize, I don't want to carry this anymore. And that moment it's perfect also. It's the feeling of the body and shoulders. And you're like, okay. And then, yes, the right person always comes.
Absolutely.
Always.
Even this podcast, even you saying yes for the podcast, these are all miracles for me. I remember you mentioned when we met that you don't say yes to everyone. And
yeah, because sometimes people ask some questions and I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm here to gossip about people that I work with or bring some stories that about very personal stuff, but the way you put things together made so much sense to me. I said, yes, this can be a message to people.
Yeah, I'm glad you said yes. And I'm glad we are recording this. And I'm glad it's going to go out and share.
Thank you.
Because it's such amazing things you shared, such nuggets of wisdom. And I'm sure it's going to benefit. It's benefiting me a lot. I'm sure it'll benefit many more. Last few questions. Your favorite dish from your cafe menu?
Okay, so cafe menu constantly changes, and because also Kiki gets upgrades in herself, every time we have a new menu, it's better. So at the moment, my favorite dish in the cafe menu is superfood salad. There's a new version of it. So it's with sweet potatoes and a lot of greens. So I like potatoes and I like greens, so when they come together, it's perfect. And then, to be honest, I think I like all our menu. There's a celestial protein shake that I really like. It's perfect. You should come on Saturday, I'm telling you. We can try all of these also. And then, what else? I mean, I like acai bowl because we have an option that you can put whatever you like. And I like the little list we have, adaptogenic walnuts and no sugar caramels and da-da-da-da-da. So, generally, I love it. Yeah.
But my sister loves the Snickers pie.
Yeah, Snickers pie is everyone's lover. Yeah.
It's very heavy. You have to work out a lot before you eat it and maybe after you eat it. But it's worth every bite. The wait is worth every bite. Any other restaurant apart from your cafe that you enjoy going to for dining?
Yes, of course. I mean, we don't eat out much because it's still a lot of it's still challenging to eat pure plant-based in the city. And also the way we see is, I call it plant-based, not vegan, because I see that vegan comes with a lot of junk also. So I like to eat the plant. So there is Taipei Dao. I like Taipei Dao food. It's very cold though. Every time I go, I take a blanket with me, seriously, to be able to sit there. And then where else we go? Let me think. We like bentoya. Bentoya, Japanese. They have a good amount of vegan, vegetarian dishes. These are like after work if we don't want to eat at home style places. We had a Chinese restaurant. They closed. We were going like nearly every Friday in Deira. Where else I eat?
Because when you have your own cafe.
Mayokum is cute and nice. Mayokum.
Where is that?
In this new mall that I keep forgetting the name around the canal, Das Wassel something mall. There is a little cute place, Mayokum. And if we are going to celebrate something, or if we are going to go to a dinner, we just choose something that I want to see, because I went to a chef school, so I still like to go out and try restaurants. Yeah. So I call them and ask, like, is there anything vegan? Can we try? But because Four Seasons and now the Mandarin Oriental is very close by to Jumeirah, and because I also can't do any traffic anymore, so we end up somewhere inside nearby for a bite, Yeah.
You want to, my question was, do these crystals have any side effect? Do they have the benefit?
They do. But look, there is a lot of searches happening around crystals. Nikola Tesla was talking a lot about crystals, and he was always saying that these crystals have pull and a push effect. Okay. And of course, there is no 100% science behind yet. But when I read him, when I look at them, when I tap into my own self again, I like them. Can I live without crystals? I think so. But do I love living with crystals? Yes. So I like making little grids and put them with some intention and trying to learn from them and carry them with me. I like it because I think these are the little colors of life. I mean, I can't imagine myself, wearing one type of clothes, going to the same job every day, doing the same work. I'm really not that person. So these crystals and the smudge and the this and that, they are the colors, like the salt and pepper of my life. So I like learning more about them and bringing them, and then, finding different shapes of them, and then searching more, and then, that's one of the things. And, I like making these little grids. We teach people also how to make crystal grids. And then they can, use some flower of life, and they can put an intention, and or they can just use it as a decoration. They're just beautiful. Yeah, why not?
I need to come for one of those classes because I do want to learn more, and I'm a little scared because I feel maybe they can have a side effect or.
They don't have a side effect, and also don't forget that everything is whatever you put as an intention to.
Yeah.
So
and it reflects back.
Yeah, of course. I mean, for example, we know that rose quartz is good for love vibration. It's unconditional love. What can be the side effect? I mean, what can a crystal can do to you as a side effect?
Yeah, maybe love quartz is the most safest one.
Yeah, and we also do, for example, crystal ball meditations, and there are two types of crystal balls. We do alchemy crystal ball meditations. The difference is, alchemy balls are from these crystals, from jade, amethyst, rose quartz. So the vibration is different. When we play them, it's like the sound is not from the earth. It's like coming from somewhere else. So everyone basically knocks during the meditation. They relax completely, and so I also like that.
Any closing thoughts for entrepreneurs, startups, small business owners that you would like to share before we and invite them to your cafe?
Please come.
Everyone, please,
Last thought, I don't know. I mean, if you have that fire already in your chest that you want to start something and do something, you should. Because which means that's for you. There's going to be a lot of learning. Just, open your mind to learning. Just be ready for the roller coaster. But it is a roller coaster. Sometimes it slows down, and sometimes it gets very fast, and sometimes it's completely down, sometimes it's up.
Be prepared for everything.
But it's fun. It's fun. It is a good ride. Yeah.
Maybe add more spirituality to your.
Like I said, that I believe that everyone has to have a daily practice to keep sane. Yeah, to keep the mind sane. This is an interesting world happening. There's every day something.
Whatever the practice be.
Yeah. I mean, keep something where you can bring your mind to focus, to an alignment, to give it a job, and to teach it to focus on one thing, so that you see the benefits when you're working also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I truly, truly enjoyed our conversation. I loved what you shared. I learned a lot. I'm sure all of you did learn as well. Thank you, Eda,
Thank
for
you
coming.
very much.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Do give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. If you have any questions from me or Eda, use the comment box below on YouTube's, iTunes, or whatever other channel you're listening to this podcast, to this episode. Do share the episode with your friends, your family, with whoever you think can benefit from our conversation. Eda shared some amazing nuggets of wisdom that I think can apply to not just entrepreneurs or small business owners, but to anyone who wants to live more consciously. And I'll see you next time with yet another guest. Have a lovely week.